Greetings. In the fast paced, often public world of the Internetpreneur, how do you truly handle a negative review or a piece of harsh criticism? It's a question that strikes at the core of our entrepreneurial spirit. The immediate personal sting is a universal pain point, the insidious tendency to ruminate on those biting words, allowing them to shake your confidence, erode your sense of self worth, and even undermine the passion you pour into your business. This isn't just about business, it's about preserving your mental well being in a digital age. The inescapable reality of negative feedback. Let's face it, it's deeply ingrained in human nature to fixate on the one negative comment amidst 100 glowing ones. Our brains are wired for negativity bias, and in the context of our work, this can be amplified. We internalize it, taking it personally, replaying the harsh critique in an endless loop within our minds. This mental replay can cast a long, dark shadow over our entire perception of our business, our efforts, and even our identity as creators or service providers. This hypersensitivity, while understandable, can become a significant barrier, making us hesitant, cautious, and even afraid to truly put ourselves and our offerings out there in the world. It can stifle innovation and prevent us from reaching our full potential. The mindful solution: practice non attachment and extract actionable lessons. The mindful solution isn't to ignore feedback, but to fundamentally shift our relationship with it. This involves cultivating the practice of non attachment. Non attachment, in this context, means learning to observe feedback objectively, seeing it as valuable information about the reviewer's experience or the product's performance, rather than a definitive verdict on your personal value or inherent capabilities. It's about creating a crucial emotional distance. We sift through the feedback with a sense of open curiosity, actively seeking to extract any constructive, actionable elements that can genuinely help us improve. The rest, the emotionally charged, unhelpful, or purely subjective negativity, we consciously and deliberately choose to let go of. This isn't denial, it's discernment, which leads us to mindful practical step one: the 24-hour rule for emotional deceleration. When you encounter harsh feedback, the initial emotional surge is almost inevitable. Allow yourself to feel that initial emotion, the sting, the frustration, perhaps even anger. Incredible Hulk. Acknowledge it without judgment. However, the critical part of this rule is to never respond immediately. You implement a strict 24-hour moratorium. This crucial waiting period serves as an emotional buffer, creating essential space for your initial defensiveness, hurt, or anger to dissipate. It allows your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for rational thought, to re engage. After 24 hours, you'll find yourself in a place of greater calm, clarity, enabling you to craft a thoughtful, professional response, if a response is even needed at all. Often, the passage of time reveals that no response is the most powerful response, which leads to mindful practical step two: the lesson filter. Question for constructive growth. Once the initial emotional intensity has subsided, engage in a deliberate self inquiry using the lesson filter question: is there any truth here that can help me improve? Approach this question with genuine curiosity and an open mind, separating the emotionally, messed that up, separating the emotional delivery from the potential factual content. If the answer is yes, identify that specific actionable piece of feedback. It might be about a bug in your product, unclear instructions, a customer service interaction, or a specific feature. Take that concrete insight and make a plan to implement an improvement. This transforms criticism into a catalyst for growth. Conversely, if the answer is no, if the feedback is purely subjective, based on a misunderstanding, or simply unkind without any constructive value, consciously release it. This means actively choosing not to internalize it mentally or even physically by writing it down and then discarding it. Thank the person for their feedback, acknowledge their right to their opinion, and then let it go without allowing it to impact your self worth or future actions. It is not yours to carry, which leads to embracing detachment in feedback, your internal fortress of self worth. Embracing detachment is not about becoming cold or uncaring. It's about building an internal fortress of self worth that external opinions, particularly negative ones, cannot easily breach. Understand that your inherent value, your talent, and the quality of your work are not determined by a single person's experience or opinion, no matter how loudly it's expressed. Feedback, at its core, is simply data. It's information. It is not destiny. You possess the power to learn from this data, to extract its wisdom, and to use it as a tool for refinement without being broken or defined by it. Your journey as an internetpreneur is one of continuous evolution, and feedback, both positive and negative, is merely one of the many inputs guiding that evolution. So, in closing, you'll be cultivating resilience. And what mindful change will you commit to bringing to how you process negative feedback starting today? Will you embrace the 24-hour rule, rigorously apply the lesson filter, or consciously work on building your internal fortress of self worth? For more insights on building mental resilience, cultivating a mindful approach to your entrepreneurial journey, and protecting your peace in a demanding digital world, please like, share, and subscribe to the Mindful Internetpreneur. And leave a comment below on what you're going to do to build that resilience against negative feedback. Thank you for watching. Stay mindful.